Welcome back to the second video of this series on visual on the visual pages. We are working with Visual Studio 2022, and we've opened our project in the first video. Now we are just going to look at a quick overview of how visual page look like. This video is going to be very brief, just to show us how the form are arranged this time around. You can see a very good housekeeping Microsoft has done. You have connection services. We have here some of our dependency are all here. We have a whole lot of things that this software is depending on. When we are loading our project, this was added automatically to our project. We don't need to add it. And some of the framework, of course, we are working with the .NET Core framework. The framework is specified. This is much more advanced than the full framework that we used to work with. Now, again, we have the launch setting. The launch setting now is written in JSON. Now, we don't need the web config again. The config is gone, and a whole lot of things. They are all gone. Now, this is a setting. You leave this one default. Then if you have any need, then you can come and change some of them. We're going to get to it. Now we have the www root. www root now enables you to do some proper housekeeping. All those your folder that contain CSS, that contain all the bootstrap theme, that contain images, they can all be put here now in a proper way, different from the way we used to do it in the framework. It's different. Now our pages are now put here. Now divided into two layers. We have this page that contain the page, and the page that this share contain the all the pages that are being shared. Like if you remember the process of master page of those days. Now this follows something like that, master pages. So you can always keep something that look like master page in your share. You have layers, you can add more layers, and inside your layers, you can always get your page, refine it to the layers, and you can even add more folder here to make your page very neat. You're going to be looking into all this very well, and again the JSON or your connection string and every other one. Now, this is very interesting. Now, we even have some of our services. You can put some of them here. When we begin to build the application, you see the need for this as well. I want to close out of all this. I'm going to quickly run us through when I start my, my application. Where do I get the form from? Which form actually load? It loads from where? Now, this is my form. I have it localhost 5197. I have this name. I have my menu, welcome, and all this. Where do we have all this now? Since things has changed, let me show us that. Now, we have inside our page, we have one form index.cshtml. If I open it up, you can see we have this alone. That's fine, and it is route. It is titled as a home page. Now we have more of since this is a page. Now you can see it is at page. Now the model at models is indicated there because every page has to do with model. This is what you use to call your page. It's an index of a particular model. Now we always use this to send things from one form to another. Like you send these to another form. Now how do I mean? This is actually calling a particular form. It's calling a particular main form. If I open up this my layout, inside my layout, that's where I'm going to see all the heading, the head, the body. If I check back this index doesn't have all of those now. But if I go back to the underscore layout, I can see the head that we used to know in our web form, the body. Now, this you use HTML5, and that reason why we have the header, we have the section, and everything properly stated. Now we can see that the way and manner our page is called now a little bit different. Uh, we have the buttons, we have our this is our anchor the way we used to have it now. Now I'm going to be explaining more about this in subsequent video. But I'm just showing us the overview. It's this is so the index and the private. So invariably, if I change anything here, maybe I want to change this. Let's say I change this. I remove the 2022 away from it. And looking at this page, the page is routed back to /index, which is our index here. Now, again, we have our home, route back to the index/index, the private, the same thing. Now, if I load this page now, I should see this change. But before then, let me show us what this render body does. Now, anything that you put inside this render body, this render body calls particular page. It calls the page that is routed to. Now, for this layout now, it is routed to call this index page. So every detail that is here, the render body is going to look for it. It's going to call this. I'm going to put it inside here. So what that means is that if I put anything here, like in subsequent video, we'll be setting up a bootstrap page. We're going to be setting a lot of things. Let's see how they join to themselves. And again, the filter is there. The filter, of course, I can do a little change here as well. And if I change this and the way it's going to look now, the way and manner this is structured now, it is structured in such a way that you can add in code almost immediately. By the time you put at, now I done something. So anything that is rendered in your index, because automatically the index is routed to be viewed inside this your layout. Now imagine the way and manner we have the model and view thing in our MVC. Something like that is repeated here. This is we have this like a view. We have something behind that you can actually put your code and everything. The way it is structured like a view to model structure, but in a compressed format. Now, if you have not been using Razorpage is a wonderful tool to use. Now, in subsequent video, we're going to be setting up on that thing. Now, before we round up this, I want to check something for us. Now, this actually uses, like I said, it uses HTML5 above. Now, let's see the version of the Bootstrap that is configured for this automatically. Now, if I come in here, then I can see, okay, this version now talks about 5.1, 5.1.0 version. If I go to this address, in a case in which I need to add some tools, some buttons, something, then I can go and get them inside this default, inside the browser. Now, I'm not going to be doing that now because that will entail that I want to start afresh. Subsequent video, I want to set up a bootstrap with templates on this page. How do we do that? So for this, I'm going to stop this now and I'll continue in the next video. So meet me in the next video. If you have not subscribed to this page, do subscribe, and as I'm releasing the video, then you'll be seeing it. Subscribe and hit the button, then you enjoy more. Thank you so much for this.